NATO's enemies believe NATO will act as one. It is hard to believe that.
How do you see America's stand in the whole NATO's whole conflict?
I mean, I don't. I'm a journalist, not a politician, and there will be many different opinions about it. But it is hard to believe that NATO is a functioning alliance anymore. NATO, I mean, those who would say, "Oh, yes, it is," don't be silly, would point to the fact that America still has very significant numbers of troops in Europe and material in Europe and bases in Europe. But on that fundamental question of would America be there if Europe was attacked? I mean, really? I mean, do you think it would be? I mean, President Trump threatened to invade the territory of a NATO ally. And then put threatened sanctions on other NATO allies who sprang to the support of Denmark. I mean, I was, as you can probably tell, fairly surprised by that.
Yeah.
So I think there's obviously a lot of hard thinking to do, I'm being polite, about the future of NATO. The core of NATO is deterrence. Deterrence functions if NATO's enemies believe NATO will act as one. It is hard to believe that if you listen to the words of President Trump.
Where does Britain sit? What's their perspective on this war?
It's also in a slightly difficult position, really. I mean, again, remember that Britain, for most of the post-war era, tried to play this role of a bridge between America and Europe. The sort of the country that understood both or could deal with both, bring them together, hold them together. And it's hard now when you have the President of the United States openly mocking Britain's armed forces and the British Prime Minister. It's hard to work out what your foreign policy is going to be. And again, I am just a journalist. I'm not a politician or a Foreign Office official. But just on any objective review of how it is, it is very difficult to see Britain's foreign policy continuing along the lines that it did, its relationship with America, which it did rather treasure. It talked about the special relationship with America a lot more than America talked about the special relationship with Britain. But it's clearly now thinking very hard about what will happen in a sort of post-American world.